Welcome in Wednesday edition Blue Sky Live here with you today. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio. We are 10 days away from the Ole Miss season opener against the Furman Paladins at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. An evening game time there with Ole Miss and Furman to kick off the season. So we're going to talk some basketball today, though. Good bit of basketball. Chris Beard's contract. Story written by David Eckert of the Clarion Ledger this morning. I perused it, and we will discuss that as he got a raise and some other details of the contract as well. Non-conference schedule out yesterday for the Rebels 2 days ago, something like that. SEC schedule out yesterday, so we'll hit some basketball stuff on that. Got some more prognostications, things along those lines as we move on with the show today, including one idea that I haven't decided what I think about it. So all that and more coming up on today's podcast. The podcast brought to you every day by Blue Sky locations throughout Mississippi. That is up and down I-55 throughout North Mississippi as well. When you can get lunch specials, $5.69, couple sides bread, any size fountain drink, and with Sweet Daddy's locations all over Mississippi. Ribs, pulled pork, take care of dinner tonight. Whenever you need it there, call ahead. They'll wrap it up, have it ready to go, wet or dry ribs available with Sweet Daddy locations and Blue Sky, including the Oxford Exxon. Again, coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are indeed. Clark Ford is in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you are looking for, and he'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line. There's no hassle. There's no haggle. You get your quote, and the rest is up to you. You get that quote, you can shop it around, you can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today, 662-257-1900. Guest will join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions. The pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi, providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit campbellclinicoxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
I saw on the message board, Neal, that you're trying to rescind your Powerade situation from yesterday. I had never
had Glacier Cherry. Gatorade
Someone
Zero.
told me that as soon as we finished the show that would be the game changer that would echo a sentiment.
It was amazing. Tons of credit where it's due. It was phenomenal. I was like, whoa, what is this?
But do you change your overall thought on the one flavor?
Yes.
You'd rather have the one quality than the consistency of the other product?
Yes.
Even if all the rest of them are trash?
I don't think they're all trash, though. They're okay.
I'm just asking.
This one just elevates.
So it was really close, and this moved above, is what you're saying?
Yes. I felt bad about the take after I tasted the first glorious sips of Glacier Cherry.
I mean, neither are paying us, so whatever. It
Yeah,
doesn't really
I don't
matter.
care.
Powerade will be okay.
Although we are for sale.
I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Yeah. In fact, we'll tell you now. You've had Wendy's nugs dipped in sauce, but have you had them covered in sauce? Wendy's new saucy nugs take the crispy and spicy nugs you love and turn them up to 11. Choose between flavors like buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, or if you're a real heat seeker, try spicy ghost pepper. Only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. I dare you. There's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs you already love. Pick a flavor, grab some extra napkins, and prepare to nug like you've never nugged before. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
There you go. Good job.
Thank you.
I was curious how you're going to do with the nugs. Wendy's does have an excellent nugget. It is an excellent nugget.
Absolutely. It's the best.
Next week, we're going to have Neal try the spicy ghost pepper nugs on air at some point. We're going to go there with that. So it's participating U.S. Wendy's.
Yes.
Obviously, as we
wonder if Secret Wendy's Oxford is a participating U.S. Wendy's.
I assume.
Probably so.
Yeah. They probably should have checked that prior to letting us know either way. But yeah,
probably.
I think so. I'm all over train of thought. Yeah, I saw Ole Miss tweeting out Jackson Dart's Beats by Dre commercial this morning.
Yeah,
Dart has his Beats
We've got our new deal. He's got his.
There you
There
go.
you go.
People helping people.
Yeah.
All the way around right there. Speaking of that, people trying to compensate. There's nothing that shocks you. We've talked about this all the time. Is that college football is 100% in what Bill Simmons used to call the Tyson zone, whereas anything Mike Tyson did was just normal, and you couldn't be shocked at this point. It's where college football sits.
Agreed.
And I guess we are completely removing any thought of the quiet part being quiet. Oklahoma State with the QR codes on the helmets for the season.
I mean,
like whatever at this point. So I'm not even really criticizing, but it's the first time where maybe I go, you know what? I keep talking about fans getting frustrated by optics or on-field logos or all these things where I go, I may as well just shut up because this one.
Welcome to my world.
This one is where I go, okay, we have officially Fonzied this thing at this point. Like it's there. This is beyond for me.
Welcome.
And again, whatever. People will QR code it. A player will score a touchdown, and they will be QR coded. So, okay.
Why not put the QR code on the field? I wonder if you could QR code the field.
Yeah, would it register?
I don't know.
Could you keep it from whatever the word would be? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes, that Wendy's is no longer secret, G, in any capacity.
No.
Is that Wendy's secret? It was back in the day. That was our vernacular.
It's now the secret's part of the joke because it's the worst kept secret in the history of secrets. But
yeah, the code's gonna be on the back, right? Kind of where Ole Miss has its shark fin.
I mean, I suppose.
Is that correct?
I mean, I read it and I saw some people like, "Oh my God, this is a bridge too far," and I was like, "What? I mean, why not?" You've announced in college football
it will be a bridge too far, depending on how many people get pissed off and how many people actually use the thing, and you'll be able to see a metric off of it.
Here's what they're gambling on, and I think so far they're winning on this gamble. Is even the people that are pissed off. It's why I've always like parcel out the Grove and sell it. The people who are pissed off are still going to keep coming. It was my feeling with the mascot years ago. Just change it. Go to a new mascot. Tell people to shove off. They're going to bitch and moan and tell you they're leaving, but they're not leaving because at the end of the day, it's a big part of their life. You're telling me people are going to stop watching college? Oklahoma State fans are going to stop watching Oklahoma State football because Oklahoma State puts a QR code on the back of the helmet and announces officially for all the world to know what everybody already knows, which is it's all about the money?
It's going to a general fund for football, which will then be divvied up. So it's not the player you scan; it's one fund.
Yeah.
All the way around.
But again, are you telling me that Oklahoma State fans are going to stop watching Oklahoma State football because there's a QR code that announces that, hey, this is really just all about money?
No.
They're not. They're going to keep watching. And if they win, they'll really watch. And if they lose and people stop coming to games, someone will go, it's because of the QR code. And I'll go, no, it's because they're losing. The people like me that kind of thought when this all started out that this was really going to change, we are dead wrong. We are so wrong. I've never been more wrong about something than I'm wrong about this.
I am curious, and I'm trying to figure it out here because they make a good point. They're going to be big enough to scan? Like how? Like only on TV? So are we only talking about if you're watching on television, not in the stadium, right?
Well, yeah, but the overwhelming majority.
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I would assume, but you could freeze the screen and scan the thing. The
that's
QR
what it says.
code.
Yeah, it says the school says when they won't be visible from the stands on game day, watching during television broadcasts will be able to capture them on their phones.
Yeah.
So essentially, they're creating their own commercial for 3.5 hours with a QR code. That is 1.5 square inches. Very small. It is sitting in the stripe on the back of the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually not even the complete width of the stripe. It is because Oklahoma State has a black stripe with little thin. It's technically the helmet, but a gap that's white and then yellow and then orange stripes, and it goes about halfway into both sides of the orange. So it's not very large at all.
That's what she said.
It's true. It's a revolutionary step forward to help keep Oklahoma State football ahead of the game. It gives a chance for everyday fans across the world to have a real impact when it comes to supporting the NIL efforts for Cowboy football. I'm thrilled about the opportunity for our players.
I mean, why not?
We have to have these conversations with the players. Tell your agent to quit calling us and asking for more money. It's non-negotiable now. It'll start again in December. So now we're able to direct ourselves just in football, and that's part of the fun.
My question is, why not put a QR square or whatever it's called, a QR code on the front of the football jersey? Go all in. Why be subtle? I'm only half kidding.
I mean,
because why? No, I'm serious. I mean, I'm not trying to pick a fight with you here, but why? We're past.
Are you going to sell merchandise with the QR code on the jersey?
Sure. You can now.
I know, but
why not? You can sell merchandise, or you can give to NIL, or you can do both. That's truly name, image, likeness.
Yeah, I mean, Luke's got a good point. The QR codes will be all in the stadium in other ways.
Sure.
They'll be everywhere.
They're on the urinals. There's a QR code on the urinals in the second floor bathroom.
Are they?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, if you are so motivated by this game that while you stand here urinating, you would like to donate to Ole Miss football, here's the code. Yeah. We'll make this super simple. You just need one free hand.
It's true. I get it. I don't think they're going to contribute to very much money. I just don't.
Yeah, I just don't know.
I mean, again, what my opinion of what much money is might differ from other people's, but in general, I just can't.
Does it raise $100,000 in the game?
No.
Okay.
No. That would be worth it. No. You have to be an Oklahoma State fan to do it. So we're already limiting the thing.
So their first
home games, you've already got 60,000 in the stadium.
So their first big game is at home against Arkansas. They're whipping Arkansas 42-14 going to the fourth quarter. You telling me some giddy fans don't go, here's some money?
I mean, it'll make something, but no.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to make enough to be worth it.
Okay.
I don't. Again, could be completely wrong.
Well, you can. Your boy's completely gun shy on these predictions now because I have thought for the longest time that's going to turn.
And I mean, grind's probably low. I mean, if you're right, it's definitely not worth it. He said he sees 150 a game, if that.
Oh, it'll make more than that.
Now, 15,000? No, I don't think so. You got to. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know, man.
You've got to have the end of a huge win is the only time, maybe in my opinion, that it would get any considerable traction outside of the just randomness.
Mm-hmm.
But then the game is off. Like, is somebody going to rewind to go get, like, I mean, Ole Miss beats LSU and everybody's giddy as hell, but the game ended as soon as Jaden Daniels stood the ball through the end zone. The helmet's not on the screen anymore.
Nobody devoted the game?
Well, okay, but that takes an extra layer, and you know how that goes. Look, we're in the internet business. You got to do one extra step.
Oh, I know.
That falls 118%.
I know.
So, no, it doesn't.
You might have to restart your computer. Well, I'm out. That's it. I'm done. I know. But this is different, man. I'm telling you, I'm blown away by it. Like, almost to the point where I'm tip my hat impressed by it.
I like the creativity. I do appreciate athletic departments sitting around a conference room and going, hey, what's next?
Why not?
Go ahead. See what happens.
What's the point? That's been my point all along is y'all have officially announced it's all about money. Just go all in now. There's no point in tiptoeing around with the water and going, the water's still a little cool. Let's just jump in. Cannonball right into the deep end and have fun. Go for it. The decorum is gone. You've announced that much. It's about money now. The players come for money. In December, when Ole Miss is trying to restock this roster, it's going to all be about how much money can I make. The kids aren't going to be like, well, tell me about your academics. Oh, tell me about your campus. Tell me about the programs that are offered. Tell me about the town. No, it's how much money can you pay me? I don't even need a visit. Can you put me on a Zoom with the coach and the NIL guy? I'll knock out 5 of these things. Highest bidder, that's where I'm going. That's where the sport is. And it's okay. But look, it's thriving.
I do
So
agree
it
with Luke here,
works.
though. I don't like this mentality. He goes, it's not just that I was wrong. It's also that it's turned into a mob mentality where if you don't like fan-funded player salaries, you're a bad fan and you get ridiculed.
I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I understand. Look at our board. When someone is kind of anti some of this, they get bombarded. By the way, rebelgrove.com, there's a 60% off sale through Friday.
The 23rd, yes.
So you have through Friday to I'll put the code in the chat in a minute, but it's promo code kickoff 2024.
Yes.
All caps, except for the numbers, which are numbers. Kickoff 2024. You get 60% off your first year of rebelgrove.com, part of the Rivals Network.
I'm not sure you can get a 3-star corner for $100,000. That's about right.
Out of the portal? No, you can't.
Yeah, out of the portal.
No. So it's all about money. So make it all about money. It's about money. Maybe more all about money than the NFL's all about money.
Well, because it's more in your face.
Well, I mean, NFL players make decisions based on sometimes playing time, opportunity. NFL teams have to go away.
Well, and now college football players do too if they're in the portal because they've got to have a guaranteed spot and get drafted. I mean, you are scheming your program.
Sure.
In a lot of ways. It's just more front facing. Yeah, I don't know what they think the number is to make it, quote, worth it, or what they feel like that is, no matter what that is. I think they're just going, hey, throw a flyer out there and see what happens.
Sure.
Which, okay.
Sure.
I don't hate that.
I promise you, every other program in the country is watching. If I'm in a meeting in any SEC program today, I'm like, how hard would it be for us to get a QR code ready for the helmet?
It wouldn't be hard at all. It would
we
take 30 minutes.
We probably should get those ready. And when someone goes, well, I think that's going to turn the fans off. My response to that would be screw them. Let's do it. If it raises $10,000, it's worth it.
Well, that's not true.
You don't think?
No, because you're losing $10,000 on the other side if you piss off somebody.
Nah. They're not leaving. Who's leaving? I mean, look at the TV deals. Look at the attendance. Look at the ratings.
That doesn't mean that foundation numbers are as up as they've ever been, though.
But that might be because of other things. That might be economy. That might be a lot of things.
Could be because of that.
It's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely.
Don't win 11 games.
Well, Chase, do you know how many programs aren't going to win 11 games?
That's my point. As soon as you don't win 11 games, good luck. Because then you take away everything else and you're not winning. And then it's like, well, okay, now you're throwing all these codes in my damn face to go 7-5. I'm talking about Ole Miss, not anybody. It's true, though.
Yeah.
You start peeling away the layers, and then you don't give the good feeling from the win.
You think the layers are even there still? I mean, I'm not arguing with you. I'm asking. The kids are coming for one season.
I'm talking about fans.
I'm talking about fans, too.
I'm talking about how it looks.
Yet they're
I'm talking
still
about
there.
the hash mark logos. I'm talking about the midfield logos. I'm talking about QR codes. When you're just inundated everywhere you look with, hey, give in your face, and then you lose.
But your coaches and everybody around your program is saying, hey, you have to do this or else.
Well, okay.
I mean, that's what they're saying.
Sure. But that doesn't mean the fan doesn't get pissed off and stop.
I mean, make no mistake, that is the message. I'm not criticizing Ole Miss here, but everybody does it. Like Ole Miss had their giving day or whatever on the video, and everything's about, hey, you really got to do this.
Yeah. And frankly, you do if you're going to win. It's not wrong.
No,
but at the same time, it is still a discretionary income.
Well, here's where it could be wrong. Because if everybody's doing it, everybody's not going to win.
But it's the only way you are going to win. There's a difference.
Okay. So my argument would be to you, and I'm just arguing for the sake of arguing here. You know, I don't give a damn. But say Ole Miss goes 8-4. Just for kicks and giggles. Everybody take a deep breath. Hypothetical. 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go, hey, we got to do this again. We were close. Got to do it again. If we want to stay competitive, we got to do it again. If we want to keep Kiffin, we got to do it again. If we want to do this, we got to do it again. It's going to be constant. It's always going to be that way. In a world where the baseball team has another bad season and that's the end of the Bianco era, and the new guy comes in, the very first thing is going to be, let's raise more money for NIL. That's going to be the very first thing. And it's that way everywhere. I'm not just picking on Ole Miss. It's literally across the board. I mean, name a school in a Power 4 league, and I bet I could give you an example of it.
Sammy makes actually a good point. He says when you super chat after a big win, it feels like a communal experience. It does. I guess that's my point with the QR codes is that you get the win and then the code's over, and it's not communal. I mean, frankly, if you want to, whatever, holler at us and put the QR code on our freaking screen during a post game because everybody's together. Then you're excited. Like when the game ends, it's over. You're no longer, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I mean, kind of.
Again, nobody's rewinding to the second quarter to make sure they get that code. Like, it's not.
The code would be omnipresent. They wouldn't have to rewind
And
it.
you know what I mean?
Kind of. You're telling me that nobody's going to be so jacked up that they're going to go find one screenshot and donate?
I mean, nobody is not the right word. But is that going to have a windfall of $200,000?
I don't know. I don't know.
No.
I'm through gambling on this.
As you said, I think if you're watching with your buddies, there'll be some guys that go, hey, if you get that fourth down, here's $20. Okay. Sure.
I mean, that's $20 they didn't have.
Okay. I mean, okay.
I think once you jump the shark.
I mean, that's like saying, hey, we're going to switch our jerseys to Russell Athletic because they're going to give us $20. Like, okay. I mean, but.
Not really. I think it's one of those deals where once you've kind of admitted the quiet part out loud, you just go all in. There's no going back. You're not going to lose. So
it is possible we're just running into a simulation like Ready Player One right now. Yes, we might be headed that way.
I'm not sure what that is.
It's a book.
Oh.
Kind of a technology version of 1984, if you will.
Okay. Don't dive into pop culture on me. I'm going to struggle.
I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet because it's just reaching its saturation point.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, of the two of us, you're far more in touch with the typical fan sentiment than I am. I don't know. You are around those people. You have people in your household that go to the games as a fan. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any. I'm observing this from a completely different height than you are. And I'm looking at it going, well, that seems to be working. I mean, why not just keep going? I'm not one of the people in the stands going, this isn't what I remember. This isn't the experience that I went to my games with my dad with.
I guess I have a point. We'll come back and I'll point that out. One more thing on this and we'll get into a little bit of basketball. Speaking of, Blue Sky Live brought to you by the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation. Fall sports officially underway, so don't forget to download your mobile tickets into your Apple or Android wallet before heading to the vault. Remember Brett Young, Josh Kelly, Mustache the Band, performing in the SJB Pavilion on August 31st. Call the Ole Miss ticket office or visit them online to get your tickets today. That same day is the 2024 men's and women's basketball season ticket and donation renewal deadline. If you want to get your priority points up before seat or parking selections, call the foundation, 662-915-7159. And for more information, that's give2athletics.com.
We're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. We'll have the hand raised guys tomorrow night. That's brought to you by Comer and Southern. Different names with the same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding areas, call Comer, 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or those areas, get in touch with the people at Southern, 662-429-4429. 10 days away from the first game. I'll have a post-game column after that game and after every game, brought to you by Window Hero. From window cleaning to pressure washing, gutter cleaning, gutter guards, and everything in between, Window Hero has the experience, equipment, and expertise to make your property look and feel brand new. If you're in North Mississippi, let Window Hero make your home or business's exterior look amazing. Their experts are fully bonded and insured. They provide specialized equipment, exclusive cleaning solutions, a satisfaction guarantee, and they can clean up to 4 stories on buildings. Window Hero has locations in Oxford, Tupelo, Pontotoc, Holly Springs, New Albany, and more. Roby and Susan Allen are dedicated to helping Oxford and all of North Mississippi with their windows, gutters, and everything in between. Call Window Hero at 662-510-7077 to get an estimate. Learn more at windowhero.com. Ole Miss grads Hunter and Mimi Simpson form Southern Q Sauce Craft Barbecue Sauce. Southern Q Sauce, crafted by hand in small batches to capture that tangy, sweet, and smoky taste with just enough heat. The original recipe features the deep South flavors of apple cider vinegar, sweet brown sugar, tomato, and hickory. It's a blend of Tennessee, Mississippi, and the Carolinas with a sweet, smoky finish. They've also got a variety of rubs, so check them out. Whether you're a professional pitmaster or an occasional backyard chef, Southern Q Sauce has the sauces and rubs to have your friends and family coming back for more. Go to southernqsauce.com. Use the discount code Rebel Grove, one word, Rebel Grove, for 15% off your order. And are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? You may notice there's a lot of volatility in the market. So if you've got questions, get in touch with my friend Andrew Sego, Sego Wealth Management. He specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville, Tennessee, or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting and see what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com.
Podcast is brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area and they offer MedSync. Free prescriptions the same day each month and take care of you. Also can transfer your medications very, very easily. Start using G&M or Tyson Drugs. You make one phone call, they take care of the rest. So again, whether you're in Holly Springs with Tyson Drugs on the Square or South Lamar in Oxford with G&M, that's 662-236-2222. I guess my question, and I don't know the answer to this, but just kind of finishing it here. For anyone who does get frustrated and doesn't feel like it's what they are used to or the things that they get out of it without the winning. And again, this isn't about Ole Miss. It's anywhere. Take Arkansas this season. Say it doesn't go well for Sam Pittman and they go 4-8 and they go, hey, there's a big chicken nugget at the middle of the field. And you got Tyson and you got Walmart.
You don't think my Hogs can do a little better than 4-8? Come on, Chase.
5-7. Sorry.
Okay, it's better.
Okay. Respectability, they get an SEC win, all that good stuff. Maybe 2. So 5-7. And you got all this crap on the field and you got all this stuff and you're going to the games and you've been a real dedicated fan. But now you're not winning. At least when you weren't winning before, you felt like you recognized the damn place. Mm-hmm. And now you don't. Again, it's probably a small sample size, but my point is, if you give up at all, how is that any different than the guy who sits on his TV and decides it's nicer than going to the games and doesn't go anymore? Once you're out, now maybe winning gets you back in immediately, and that does happen, and you got to build it back.
I can tell you what's coming at the end of that. Hey, we got to raise more NIL money because that's what's stopping us from being like Ole Miss and Missouri. See, Ole Miss and Missouri, teams that are sort of like us, they did it. We've got to match them. We got to raise NIL money. We got to get the money together. We get the right coach, and let's get rolling. Woo pig. That's what they're going to say.
I agree.
And you know what? Everybody these college fans, no offense, I love you guys. There's no evidence at all to support that they are wrong. That the Arkansas fan will go, hey, I'm pissed off for 3 days, right? The Missouri game's a blowout. Again, they lose it. They finish, like you said, 4-8.
I mean, I'd love to have that data. I'd love to see collective data of who cancels monthly memberships after losses.
But they'll come back. They'll come back. That's their bet is that they'll come back because, right?
But if it takes winning to come back, then it's chicken or the egg. If you don't come back until they win.
Winning. It just takes something new. They hire Rhett Lashley. They pay Rhett Lashley $8 million a year, and he leaves SMU after a big season at SMU and takes over at Arkansas. I don't figure out your coach. I don't care. I don't know. But the point goes, you know how this works. Everybody immediately goes, he's awesome. He's going to be the one that gets us to the fit. We're next year we're buying tickets. That's what they do.
The new strength coach, bigger, faster, stronger.
But it's even bigger when you bring in look at Ole Miss. They brought in Lane Kiffin, and immediately it was like all the trash that happened was gone. It disappeared like overnight. Look at Missouri today. Missouri's a completely different program than it was the day that Eli Drinkwitz was hired. It's a completely different program. You're telling me that
I don't think it goes for any coach hire, though. I think Lane was different because everybody was so excited by the name and the pedigree and the whole deal. You hire a random coach.
Missouri did it. It worked. Look at them.
It wouldn't have day one, though.
They raised the money.
Not day one. He had to have some proof of concept first.
A little bit. He went into last season on the hot seat.
He did. And now they are all in from a legislature standpoint.
Sure.
Frankly, they are fully funding through the athletic department at this point, which you still are having to raise private money to do that, but it's a different concept than, frankly, 99.9% of the schools out there.
I'll interrupt. The 6 says it's a close race as to which one hates Hugh Freeze more, Neal or Godfrey. It's Stephen hates him much more than I do. I don't hate Hugh at all. I'm not going to be hypocritical and say that we're big tight buddies, but I don't have any hatred for Hugh Freeze at all. Zero.
I don't know that I'm canceling, but I've contemplated it for the first time on some of the streaming services that keep sending me the emails. They're raising prices.
Like which ones?
Showtime Paramount hit me this week, and I went, "Do I care?"
Yeah.
And I kind of went, "I think I might be done." I don't use
the
it
one
much.
that I don't use enough to keep paying for it is HBO.
The problem with that is when I want it, I really want it.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
My problem with it is I think if I canceled it, the kids would call immediately, go, "How come you canceled HBO?"
That's fair. I like the way they do that. They simply, hey, we're raising prices, and you don't put a cancel option in the email, and you whatever. I mean, it's like anything else. I never understand the ones that go, hey, we're doing this, but here's the button to get out of it. It's like, hey, we don't mind if somebody leaves the restaurant, but we're not going to call the Uber for them. So, but I don't know. I just kind of got it this week and went, first time, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So let's switch to a little bit of basketball. Now we've got those grievances out of the way. Chris Beard signed a new contract in April. It was about a 50% pay raise over his initial contract with Ole Miss as he's going into his second season. He had been set to make $3.35 million this year, but the new contract now scheduled to earn about $5 million. Again, this coming from a story from David Eckert. After the Rebels went 20-12 and 7-11 in the SEC, and to whatever degree he was linked to the Arkansas job in the offseason, they eventually hired John Calipari. His base compensation increases by $100,000 over the life of the new deal, which is 6 years in length. That's something that happened with Mike, with Lane, probably but I'm not 100% sure on that they run the extra years outside of the 4-year maximum that you can have on a government contract through the foundation, which allows you to go beyond that 4 years. So just heads up on that. Let's see, anything else to this that is interesting. This is the same, by the way, the same pay structure that he would have made at Texas had he remained with the Longhorns. So they have basically made him the same salary that he had at Texas. It currently ties him for 4th in the SEC from a salary standpoint. That is behind Rick Barnes, Bruce Pearl, and Calipari. As of last season's numbers, I don't know who's gotten raises in the offseason, but
yeah, I don't know what Oates is making,
and now. I don't know like what Pope is making at Kentucky now in year one. Like I
think it's
know.
5.
Yeah, so but judging off last year's numbers, that would be 4th in the SEC, tied with. No, actually, it says here his pay matches that of Pope and Oates. So he is currently making the same salary as Mark Pope at Kentucky and Nate Oates at Alabama.
Okay. Yeah, Bama's got a steal going to Oates, man. Oof.
Got all the perks and stuff and whatnot. Gets a $250,000 bonus if he's employed in 2026. And if he is fired without cause, he will be owed 75% of the value of his remaining contracts. That's a pretty standard thing Ole Miss has done for a long time. It's why Mike's buyout is what it is, with the years remaining on that. If Beard would, this is actually a relevant number here. If Beard were to move on during this first year of his contract, he would owe Ole Miss $4.5 million.
Yeah,
for a basketball coach, that's a significant buyout.
It's a pretty big number.
Yeah,
and that number goes down by the year.
3.5, and then 2.5,
and then down to 1. Correct.
Yeah, in the final 3 years of the deal. But if he's winning, he will never be on this deal at that point. So that's really not relevant in any way. So he, like Lane Kiffin, neither one of them have to mitigate their buyout.
Right.
So if they get a new job, they still get 100% of the money. There is no mitigation in that.
Wish we could get deals like that.
I like those no mitigation deals.
I do too.
As long as you don't, as long as you don't do something really stupid, you're getting paid. It's all good.
You just decide you don't like me and you want to fire me, but I still get paid. I like that idea.
It's the Ed Orgeron thing. Tell me what door to walk out of and when to walk out of it. Okay.
And here's the smile on my face.
Oh, he was like giddy retelling the story. He's like, hold on. He's like, talk to Oliva or whoever it was, or Woodward, whoever it was at the time. And he goes, hold on, you're paying me 100% of what I'm owed? Oh, well, let me know when you
Go Tigers.
Yeah, exactly. He said that. It's all good.
Go Tigers.
Oh. It's a damn good deal if you can get it.
Oh, I mean, kudos to him, man.
But in all seriousness, fourth highest paid coach in the league.
There's some pressure to win.
A lot of pressure on Beard right here.
Listen.
Put his roster together.
Listen, you don't make the tournament this year, it's failure.
Yeah, with that salary.
Sorry, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
You don't make the tournament this year, it's failure.
And we were going to get into the schedule. We have now the non-conference schedule and the SEC schedule for the year. And I have two general thoughts here. Neal kind of teased this a little bit at the end of yesterday. The overall schedule and the overall non-conference schedule is okay. As far as who you play, the metrics, those type of things, especially rated to the difficulties for it is for Ole Miss's schedule. Look, you can act like it's an excuse. You can act like it's not. It's up to you. But it's been the truth for two decades. Ole Miss sits in this little middle ground where a lot of main teams do not want to come to Oxford and play them because if you beat them, then it looks bad on you. And if you beat them, you don't get anything out of it. Now, you got to change that reputation over time. Beard helps. He has some connections. I know some things that are upcoming to be announced that are going to help on that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that is still where you're sitting, and teams don't like coming an hour from the Memphis airport. Right. Wrong, or indifferent, it is what it is.
Yep.
There's a reason Ole Miss is playing Colorado State in South Haven, not Oxford. Again,
I know.
You can do what you want to do, and that's actually a good game. Colorado State's ranked.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in saying all those things, you want to incentivize your season ticket holders and those type of things, and it is a really bad non-conference home schedule. There's just not anything there because your best games are Colorado State and South Haven, and then, which is not included in that package, obviously. And then I don't think, yes, at least I honestly don't know. I'm assuming not. Tadpad game not included, which is third game of the season. I think it's South Alabama. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And then
is that the night before Georgia or what?
I don't know. It's November 12th. It's a Tuesday.
Oh.
So no.
No.
And then what is actually the coolest thing of the season is the charity game against Illinois at the Pavilion. We announced that, right? We talked about that.
Yeah,
it's on the message board.
It's the day after the Oklahoma game.
And, I think Illinois is picked to win the Big Ten or picked second. I mean, that's going to be it doesn't count. It's an exhibition, but it's a cool thing for people locally in Oxford.
Yeah.
It, frankly, is the biggest non-conference opponent maybe ever in town. I was told a stat this morning by somebody that I think Ole Miss has only had two non-conference top 25 games in Oxford in the last 25 years. Non-conference.
Oh, wow.
So I think Illinois is the best team to come into Oxford, even though it's in an exhibition for charity.
On a Sunday afternoon.
In 25 years.
Yeah.
So it's a good game. You'll get a dress rehearsal and whatever. Now, if you win, you're going to be all pissed off because it doesn't count. But South Haven game not included in the season ticket package, which I assumed, but thanks for the clarification there.
No, I told you I was talking to him. I went to a practice in, I don't remember when it was, Chase, July, maybe late June. Hell, I don't know. And I asked, was it easier to schedule this year? And his answer was no. It was not. It's something they got to, I don't know. I don't think it's a lack of effort. He has always scheduled pretty aggressively wherever he's been.
I think I'm taking Memphis out of that stat, Drew. I think it was without including Memphis because they've had that annually. It's getting other teams outside of the area to come play you as top 25 teams.
Yeah, so if you try to get like a Duke or something to come play you, they're just not going to do it because they might lose, and B, you have a reputation for not being a tournament team, and so you like they'll safely go play Kentucky, right? Yeah, we'll go play Kentucky. Sure, if we lose, we lose. Not going to hurt. Kentucky's typically a top 15 team. Not going to hurt us at all. And if we win, it's a big feather in the cap. You're answering
Yeah.
restaurant stuff.
Yeah. Non-conference home schedule. Long Island. That's the opener on November 4th.
You pretty much still go to St. Leo once a week.
Not that much, but I mean,
Pretty often.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only place I go for the most part.
We used to go there a lot. It's hard to get in, and then we just after a while just kind of stopped.
Long
it's really
Island,
good though. Really good.
Grambling State, South Alabama, Tadpad game. So again, not included in the package. Colorado State, good game, but in South Haven. That is on November 16th on a Saturday.
Grind makes the point Duke went to Arkansas last year. Yeah, they did, and Arkansas won the game, but that's a safe bet typically because Arkansas 2 Sweet 16.
That shows you just
2
the
Elite
difference
Eights, a Sweet 16. They've got a reputation.
Yeah, that's the catch.
It's easy to get into Northwest Arkansas.
They don't want to lose to Ole Miss and Ole Miss's RPI be 68.
Yeah.
That's what they don't want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Again.
Yeah.
Just the way it's been for 2 decades.
Yeah.
Andy talked about it all the time.
He tried.
Yeah.
I mean, I can. One thing I can vouch for is he tried.
And he ended up doing the same thing. He played teams in South Haven. He played Winthrop and Jackson one time when they were really good under Greg Marshall. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oral Roberts, November 21st at home. It's where Ole Miss has been a lot, is they really need the first game in that tournament in San Diego. They always kind of have to win that first game to then get the big game or get whoever else is coming on the schedule, and they've struggled with that over the past. Because I'm forgetting the fourth team. I know Purdue and BYU are 2 of the teams in that tournament, and the fourth is just slipping my mind right now.
I can't remember.
But it was 3 good opponents.
It's NC State, right?
It is NC State, yes. So NC State, Purdue, and BYU, the teams at Ole Miss. Ole Miss will play 2 of those over the course of that tournament there on November 28th,
So you're guaranteed a couple of really good games there.
You are. That's good.
You need to win one of them.
And then you just got a draw that doesn't help, but is what it is from an SEC, ACC challenge standpoint because you drew Louisville at Louisville.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they suck. We'll go win the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Who's their coach? Who'd they hire? Because they fired Kenny Payne.
Chris Mack, right?
Oh. So maybe they're better. I don't know. What they do in the portal? They good? They better?
I think they were pretty active in the portal.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, look, you need them to be decent. You don't need that game to suck.
Yeah.
You're a Louisville fan.
And you need the league to be awesome.
And I think you're going to be okay there.
Yeah, you need the league to dominate November and December. As much as people are just conditioned to cheer against the SEC teams, no. You need the league to be awesome.
Lindenwood in Oxford, December the 7th.
Can't wait.
St. Charles, Missouri. Location
got it circled.
Southern Miss in Biloxi again, December 14th for that one. Southern University.
Oh, it's Pat Kelsey. They hired Pat Kelsey from
College Charleston.
College Charleston. That's right.
Southern, December 17th in Oxford. Queens on December 21st in Oxford. That is in Charlotte, by the way. That's where Queens is located.
Could be a busy day in Oxford on December 21st.
I have a hunch if it's what you're referring to, the basketball game will not be well attended that day.
Or will be moved.
Okay. Hey, Queens, what's that buyout? Like $5,000? Okay, here. We'll.
Or can you just wait and play tomorrow?
Yeah. We'll put you up for a night.
Yeah, we'll handle it.
Yeah. I know you're getting back on the 22nd.
I don't know where the hell you'll put them.
Yeah.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys ever stayed at the Hilton Garden Inn in South Haven? Because let me just tell you.
It's a garden spot.
It's fantastic.
Get room service. They have the Mobley burger.
It's a good burger.
It is a good burger. It is. I don't hate Hilton Garden Inns. Memphis on December 28th is that return trip after the game here that was really competitive and fun last year. And that is the final game of the non-conference schedule. Now, their league schedule is great. It's awesome.
Open at home against Georgia, right?
Yeah. They open home against Georgia January 4th, so Mike White coming back to town for the opener.
Then first road game's at Arkansas.
That is correct. Weird stretch. They're at State, at Alabama 2 in a row. Here's one for you. From a 3-game stretch, Ole Miss has 3 home games in a row. January 28th, February 1st, February 4th or 5th, Texas, Auburn, Kentucky.
Oh.
3 in a row in Oxford.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Here's the problem. Well, no, it's good.
Need to win one or two.
The students are back for all those. That's what I was worried about. No, they're fine. Students will be gone for really just the SEC, the first 2 games of the league play. January 11th against LSU and Georgia on the 4th.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 they'll be out for. Ole Miss also with home games against State, Oklahoma, Tennessee to close. Really good home slate.
Phenomenal home slate.
I mean, road games are hard too.
The league's going to be really good per everyone that I've talked to. Like 10 legitimate NCAA teams.
And look, here's the deal.
And some elite teams at the top.
And it's what you saw because everybody was so confused, and we had this conversation a ton. And we'll come back and finish this conversation in a second. We had this conversation a ton on these non-conference games like this. When you know that a lot of these teams are not going to be top 100, you have to beat the hell out of them because net factors in margin of victory per your net rankings. So from a NCAA tournament metric standpoint, what got Ole Miss in trouble last year wasn't that they didn't lose the games, but they beat Detroit Mercy by 1 point and the ball was in the air.
Mm-hmm.
They had those kind of clunkers. They beat Sam Houston State at the Tad Pad like by 4 or something.
It turns out those were warning signs.
They were, of course. Yeah. But that's what metrically put Ole Miss where they were, even though they were like 12-0 or 11-0 or wherever they were before conference play began. So just a heads up on what that looks like. So, all right, we'll come back. We'll wrap up that topic in a second. First, at the Citizens Bank, you're not just an account number. You're a valued member of the community. If you find yourself in the market for a loan, whether for a new car, mortgage, business, or checking, savings account, they're there to help you achieve your financial goals. Stop by and visit today. That's 902 Sisk Avenue, Suite E, to discuss your options with one of their experienced bankers who values your unique financial journey, makes every moment uniquely yours. Your success is their top priority. While you're there, be sure to ask about the School Spirit debit cards and how they donate an amount per every transaction to the local school of your choice, whether it's the Oxford Chargers, Lafayette Commodores, or Regents Lions.
Brought to you by Arnett's Fine Jewelry. It's a fourth-generation jeweler located in the old Lamons Jewelry Building on North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They offer expert jewelry repair, diamond engagement rings, wedding bands, stackable diamonds, genuine stone bands, pearls, genuine color stones, diamond jewelry, and more. They offer super gifts for many occasions, such as birthdays, graduation, anniversary gifts. They've got flexible bangles, diamond pendants, earrings. Guys, if your wife is expecting a baby, Arnett's can help you find that perfect push present. They also can help you find an awesome gift for Christmas. So at Arnett's, they want to be your jeweler. We're brought to you by Grenada Home Center. They've got paints by Benjamin Moore, Pittsburgh Paints, and Farrell Calhoun, flooring of any and all types, stone countertops, whether you're looking for granite, quartz, or anything else. And they've got window treatments from plantation shutters to whatever else suits your fancy. It's Grenada Home Center, 1301 Sunset Drive, Suite H in Grenada. Call them at 662-226-3127. It's getting close to that time. We want to make sure you've got all your gear ready for the football season. We recommend the College Corner. They've got 2 locations in Jackson, one right here in Oxford, not far from us at all, just off of Sisk Avenue at the Oxford Commons. More than 4,000 square feet of the best Rebel gear, plenty of parking available. Their staff's going to have you in and out and ready for the Grove in no time. Also, you can check them out at collegecornerstore.com. We're brought to you by Wonderbird Spirits. Mississippi's only gin distillery, Wonderbird Spirits, is located on Old Taylor Road. Between Oxford and Taylor, just minutes from the square. Wonderbird boasts a newly expanded 7,500 square foot state-of-the-art distillery operation on 20 acres of magnificent Mississippi farmland. Rentals for football game weekends have just gone on sale. They're very limited. It's a beautiful area. Wonderbird can accommodate private parties of various sizes. They offer a tasting room, grounds, bathroom, catering rooms on site as part of their packages. It's a previous overall winner of Garden and Gun Magazine's Made in the South Award, and they own multiple gold medals for their gins. Learn more at wonderbirdspirits.com or follow them on Instagram at wonderbirdspirits. For inquiries, please email info, I-N-F-O, at wonderbirdspirits.com or call 662-205-0779. When you work with Argent Wealth's 401k advisory services, you gain a valuable advisory services team and time-saving resource that will help you develop and maintain a solid strategy for your retirement plan. They're committed to providing you with the personalized attention and involvement that you want and need. Their goal is to help you manage your 401k and ultimately improve your employees' retirement readiness. To learn more, go to myargentwealth.com. primeshrimp.com.
Podcast brought to you by Prime Shrimp, primeshrimp.com. So many different options for you. Their best seller is the New Orleans style barbecue. They got a spicy Louisiana shrimp bowl option, the full meals in a bag. Those are French core Alfredo, garlic herb butter. Fewer than 10 minutes, freezer to plate. They ship them directly to your door. Money back guarantee there with Prime Shrimp. So help us out a little bit and let them help you. Buy 5 pouches or more. You can get all your favorites. You can get a sampler. You can stock up any way you want to with their different flavors. When you do that, you get 25% off using code RG. So whether it's dinner, quick snacks, or whatever's going on with you, again, code RG, primeshrimp.com. Just randomness here for a second. See this about Brett Gardner, the former Yankees outfielder, the one player of note that is not attending their 2009 World Series celebration because they're honoring it for Old Timers Day or whatever they're doing here.
Why is he upset?
Well, I don't know. That's what's funny. As I was reading a story in The Athletic about it, and his agent said, all I know is his son's got a football game on Friday night, and he intends to be there. Said Joe Bick, longtime agent at Meister Sports Management. He lives in Holly Hill, South Carolina. A Yankees spokesman said Gardner hasn't responded to messages from the team since his playing career ended after the 21 season.
Mm-hmm.
They got frustrated with each other during contract negotiations. He had been with just the Yankees forever, longtime outfielder there for the Yankees. And he has not been back at Yankee Stadium since the end of the 21 season. Said that he declined a $2.3 million option for 2022. The Yankees declined their $7.15 million option on him, made him a free agent before they rolled out a starting outfield of Aaron Judge, Joey Gallo, and Aaron Hicks on opening day in 2022. But yeah, it's just really interesting.
So he hasn't played since, right?
No, done nothing. He's been completely out of the public eye. No quotes, no appearances for anyone regarding anything. Aaron Judge still honors Gardner before each game, saluting the bleacher creatures like Gardner did when he patrolled center field. Says, quote, he might not have been the guy that's putting up 40 homer seasons or hitting 320 every single year, but what that guy meant inside the clubhouse, the things he taught me about being a leader and trying to treat people with respect, even what I observed from him and how he treated people, I don't want people to forget that. So Judge still doing that
That's impressive.
To this day. Yeah. Garrett Cole described Gardner as the Yankees' de facto captain when they played together during the 20 and 21 seasons. So, I don't know. Weird. Because the Yankees do a lot to try to keep up with former players, like more than any other club. Like they're really invested in that. So, I guess I
was glad to see the Cubs finally reach out to one of their former better players that they had screwed in 2020.
Javi?
No, Jake Arrieta.
Oh, what'd they do?
Well, they let him throw out the first pitch, invited him back. I would hope apologize to him since he was right.
Since he was right.
I mean, Javi came back last night.
I saw that, yeah.
I didn't watch the game, but I saw on Twitter the standing ovation. Not surprised. He was a fan favorite. It was time for him to go. They did the right thing. But it is good to see him honored. He was a great player when he was young.
The chat says that Cal returns to Rupp on February 1st.
Yes. I bet that doesn't go as nasty as people think it's going to be. He's been nothing but first class in the whole deal. He's gone to do some things where he went to that I think the Kentucky Louisville former player game and supported
the TBT thing.
Supported his former players. He's said nothing negative at all. I think this is going to be one of those deals where people try to turn it into something that it's just not going to end up being.
No, I think it'll be completely congenial.
He's very respected in the coaching fraternity. I doubt if Mark Pope wants to have a feud with John Calipari.
I did laugh. He was at some recruiting of like Peach Jam or something, one of the big recruiting things a few weeks ago, and little girl walked up to him and asked for his autograph, and she was wearing a Mark Pope Kentucky shirt.
Yeah.
And the optics are really funny from the pictures.
And he signed it.
Oh, yeah, he was fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
He was okay.
I've met him a couple of times, and he's a nice guy. He's not the guy that you sort of think that he's going to be.
No, I find myself really liking him.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He needed a change. He got one.
They needed a change.
They needed a change. They got one. I think it's going to be something that works out well for everybody.
Look, I'm kind of closing the basketball thing here, but no, look, You need to go try to win a game in Memphis. You need to beat Louisville in Louisville. You need to win the first game in that dang tournament in San Diego. Those are keys to this non-conference
Need
schedule.
to go make the tournament.
Well, I'm saying,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
get there.
Bottom line, they need to go make the tournament. If they make the tournament, I think this thing kind of takes off. If
finish in the top 8 in the SEC.
If they don't make the tournament, I think people start going,
So top half. Be a top half team in the league. There are 16 teams.
Yeah.
And that's a chore.
No, it's a chore in a league that's got.
There aren't many.
It's a league that's got Auburn, Alabama, Kentucky, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Texas. I mean, we just named 6. Florida. It's 7. You're running out of room in the top 8. I mean, it's the way it works, math. I mean, you got to go.
Was Carolina a one-hit wonder? I mean,
probably.
I think so too.
LSU's going to be down. Mississippi State's going to be in that mix.
Vanderbilt sucks.
Missouri's probably in that mix. Vanderbilt sucks.
I think you only play Vanderbilt once. Carolina in Columbia, LSU in Baton Rouge.
Oklahoma was the last team out last year.
Missouri in Columbia, LSU in Oxford. So you play them twice. Don't play Vanderbilt? Yeah, Vanderbilt in Nashville. All the bad teams you play on the road.
Yeah, go win.
Yeah, you play them on the road, which is good.
Good.
Yeah.
Sure. I think
Because you don't want the home loss to.
I think Georgia's going to be bubbly. I mean, it's a really good league. I mean, it's a really good league. Ole Miss should be better. Ole Miss is the question with Ole Miss. Not to make this a basketball show because we got lots of time. The question for Ole Miss is, do they have enough on the low post to survive against good teams? They're going to be a better shooting team. They're going to play better defense. I think they're going to move the ball better. I think they're going to make more sense.
They're going to have to really show a lot of length in that 3-4 and keep people out from under the basket.
But there are question marks about, are you big enough? Can you handle the boards?
And who are you pairing guard wise with Juju, because he got hunted last year toward the end of the year.
Hunted and cooked.
Yeah.
Now he's addressed it to some degree. They brought in Mark Adams as a defensive minded coach. He's one of the elite defensive minds in all of college basketball. But it's players. It's a players' league.
Yeah, you can't coach it.
So but I think Sean Padula is going to help them. I think Dre Davis is going to help them. I think they have some leadership on this team. Matt Morrell's back for his 12th season at Ole Miss. I'm kidding. Matt's a good dude. Jamin Breakfield's back. They have veteran guys. They have leadership. They have some continuity. It's just, do you have enough when you play some of the really talented bigs in this league? And some of those teams we just got through talking about, Alabama, Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas, Tennessee. I didn't mention Tennessee a minute ago. Those teams have talented bigs.
I'm not going to spend time on this, but it's a pretty good thought exercise. The Athletic had a story this morning, if you have a subscription, about their sort of same thing ESPN did yesterday of setting up how they're going to do their college football playoff predictions throughout the season. And their preseason thing took a little bit of a different thing because their guy came up with an algorithm based off play-by-play metrics and linear regressions to actually put some numbers behind it as far as what they're expecting and not just simply word of mouth at that point. And then also did a thing based off the last 10 years of how the college football playoff committee projected and how they actually voted and what they sought out in those things. Again, it's not perfect, but Ole Miss not as represented as I thought they were going to be, and I think it's because of the transfer portal and being unable to predict Ole Miss's defense. I think that's what this means as you read it. So I'm more giving you a heads up as you get to this story on what's going on. So they predicted Ole Miss as one of the teams to make it, and they're going to write much more detailed analytical features on the teams that they projected to make it in the preseason. So you'll be able to have one of those on Ole Miss if you're a subscriber to The Athletic. So they give, just quickly, they give Georgia an 88.7% chance of making the playoff.
87?
88.7.
Okay.
They give Ohio State an 86% chance of making the playoff.
Okay.
They give Florida State a 53% chance of making the playoff.
Okay.
They give Utah a 44.5% chance of making the playoff.
Yep.
They give Oregon an 86.4% chance to make the playoff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. They give Texas a 70.2% chance to make the playoff.
Okay.
They give Notre Dame a 61.8% chance to make the playoff.
Okay.
They give Penn State a 66.1%
Listen,
chance.
if you're an Ole Miss fan, that opener, you are an Aggie fan. I mean, I know it's
Get
going to
the
be
Irish the hell out of there.
I know it's going to be hard for some people to do it, but you need to.
Notre Dame will take one of your spots. So
you need to be cheering for the Aggies.
Yeah. Penn State 66. This is interesting. LSU 57.6.
Listen, the computers love them.
They do. Right, wrong, or indifferent?
I've got a mailbag question with what's the deal, and it's like you guys in the media, and I'm like, well, kind of, but like the computers love them too, and I don't know that the computers are biased on the Death Valley at night thingy.
Giving Ole Miss a 45.7% chance.
That's about right.
Coin flip, just under. Says it's the most hyped Ole Miss team in a long time, and it's easy to see why. The model has the Rebels as a top 5 offense, and they were huge transfer portal winners this offseason.
Yeah.
Frankly, that's good news for you because it means their model is not predicting a running back fall off to any huge degree to be a top 5 offense. Just got to stay healthy. That wide receiver room pretty banged up right now.
It is.
Got to get back in play. Alabama, 54.9%. Since Kalen DeBoer's one of my favorite coaches in college football, but being the one to replace Saban will be a daunting task. Still, Alabama's talent combined with the track record means the Tide shouldn't take too far of a step back, firmly in the CFP mix. Boise State, 33.6% chance. First 5 out, Kansas State, Michigan, Clemson, Missouri, and Oklahoma. They're giving Missouri and Oklahoma a 30.5 and a 25% chance of making the playoff.
Missouri's issue is going to be they could be that 10-2 team that only has one good win. Missouri needs Auburn, Texas A&M to be real. Like if I'm a Missouri fan, I'm cheering so hard for Texas A&M to beat Notre Dame. So I can go to College Station and win, and that be a big win.
Yeah, you don't need Notre Dame to thump A&M, and then it just means nothing.
And if I'm Missouri, I'm really cheering for Auburn. I need Auburn to be good. It's like if I'm an Ole Miss fan, I not because of the Kiffin thing. I want Florida to be good. I want South Carolina to be good. I want Kentucky to be good. I don't need those teams to be terrible, and that's where I slipped one night.
Backing up one thing real quick. I saw this on the message board, and I missed this in my first read of Eckert's story. The last sentence of a paragraph that I think is one of the more interesting sentences in the whole thing. If athletic director Keith Carter and University Chancellor Glenn Boyce are no longer employed in their positions, Beard's buyout is cut in half.
Yeah. And or just
it says and.
Okay.
Yeah. And or would be really interesting.
Yeah. Like soon.
Yeah. But as of now, it's and. But I don't know. I just found that was the second to last sentence of the story. And
Ginger asks, is Baton Rouge at night worth points? Honestly, as someone who's covered a ton of games there, I think so. I mean, I'm just being honest.
More than the normal stadium worth points, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, not 10 or anything. But
no, but yeah, it's worth something. I've seen multiple teams go there and melt down at night.
I mean, 14 Ole Miss freaked out in the fourth quarter.
I watched Auburn melt down. I've watched good teams go there and melt down.
The two places that teams typically melt
a good Georgia team melt down there
is LSU and Alabama. Bryant-Denny has become one of those in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It helps them, even in addition to them being so good.
Yeah.
It plays. It's an extra level there, beyond the norm. So yeah, I'll buy that. I thought I was gonna. I've still got this on the thing. I'll talk about it tomorrow. The Bama GM making $850,000 a year, resetting that market.
And I think that's just the beginning.
Yeah,
I think that's the next big.
Because that's what I was saying. We don't even necessarily have time for the conversation because the conversation is based off of where does it go and what all these positions look like and how many there are as we move forward. Because as we get into this, back to the original conversation of the day, the NIL and all these different things, these capologist general manager roles are more important than any job on staff outside of the head coach and potentially a coordinator.
100%. Maybe more important than the coordinator.
You can make the argument. But those would be the only ones even in the conversation at that point. More important than any other position coach.
Yes. I think this
more important than the strength coach.
Yeah. He's the guy that decides how you divvy up your money.
Do the whole damn thing.
When Oklahoma State gets through raising all their money off the QR code, they got to figure out how to spend it. And someone's got to set limits.
Mm-hmm.
It's like running a pro team.
Yeah.
A wide receiver might be worth $14 million in the NFL, but he's not worth 15. And there's somebody that goes, and here's why.
And here's the line. Everybody has a line.
And
that's what Ole Miss has been pretty good at the last 18 months. They kind of know what they have for a value, and they don't chase it.
Well, the two programs that have been best at it in the league are Ole Miss and Missouri, and here they are.
They don't get emotional about it.
No.
Tyler Barron had a number, and when you get past that number, okay, peace.
Yeah, can't do it.
That's not where we value you.
Well, I mean, Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah.
There was a number where they would have put up with Tiva for another year.
Yeah, of course. And there's a number where you don't.
Don't reach out to me, Tiva. We're good. Just keep talking to David Eckert and those guys.
Yeah, all good.
We're good. Peace. I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah. Hope it's a injury-free season.
In the event that you ever have to travel to Columbus, John Edwards of Regency Travel Incorporated can help you. He's part of Virtuoso, a worldwide network of travel partners. So if you're thinking about setting up a trip that you hope creates a lifetime of unique memories, I would not recommend Columbus. But in the event that you want to go there, you can give him some parameters, give him a budget. He's going to give you options to make it a special trip. 901-494-3387 or J. Edwards at regencytravel.net. Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. Are you a displaced corporate executive wanting to put your career in your own hands? Are you an experienced entrepreneur looking to diversify? Either way, Andy Ludicky can help. He's a longtime Rivals board member, a diehard college football fan, franchise veteran. He owns multiple franchises and businesses, uses his expertise to help others find their American dream through a very thorough and free consultation process. So call Andy. Put your life and your career in your own hands. It's 100% free. You've got nothing to lose. Andy at myperfectfranchise.net or 404-973-9901. And again, rebelgrove.com. You can get 60% off for a year through Friday just by entering the promo code kickoff 2024. You can read items such as my mailbag, which will be up later today. It's presented by Art Hayes of Sotheby's International Realty. If you're thinking of making a move, put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world, no charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask Art how, 612-805-5929, or email Art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com.
Podcast brought to you by Northeast Spark, NESPRC. Service people across rural communities. 2 packages, the Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze. The 1 gig that I have at home powers the Clark Ford studio. Your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. That's nespark.com, 662-238-3159. Phone service, parental controls, network security, wireless mesh extender for those who need the extra help, and more. Again, that's 662-238-3159. I saw a poll this morning, and it was asking people, NFL fans, are you taking the Chiefs or the Field to make the Super Bowl?
Field.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
The Field won.
But it was close.
The Field won 50.3 to 49.7.
Ooh, real close.
The Chiefs getting there again, is that bad for the NFL? Relatively?
No.
We like dynasties. We like greatness. I do think we have a certain saturation point with the Chiefs. They're not overly likable.
They're not likable at all. I think you would see a playoff deal, though, where people are cheering against them.
Yeah, so the numbers are huge.
Yeah, so the numbers are huge, and if they make the Super Bowl, it's the Super Bowl. I think the Super Bowl's untouchable. Everyone watches the Super Bowl no matter what. People would just cheer for the Lions or the Niners real hard.
It shows you what people think about the Chiefs because 7 teams are projected to win 9 or more games this year, and yet people took the Field by the most narrow of options.
Well, that quarterback's
over
really
the
freaking
Chiefs.
good. I mean, he's a nightmare.
Vegas, a little more cautious. They've got Kansas City, still the favorite, 325 plus 325 to win the AFC, plus 500 to win the Super Bowl. Again, that's betting 100 to win 500.
Yeah.
Odds makers see San Francisco having an easier time through the NFC at plus 280.
Yeah, agreed. I think we talked about that a little bit. The NFC is just weaker.
They are.
AFC has good teams. I mean, in the East, like Buffalo, Miami, maybe even the Jets, depending on what Aaron Rodgers does. In the North, you've got potentially 3 really good teams: Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland. In the South, Houston's a good team. Indianapolis is a good team. In the West, the Chargers could be a good team. Obviously, Kansas City. I mean, there's a lot of competition in that conference.
You gonna watch football Saturday?
I mean, I'll watch the Georgia Tech Florida State game if it's competitive for a little while. I'm not. You know me. You've known me a long time. I'm not that guy that just because it's on and there's football being played on a green field, I'm not glued to it like that. Are you?
No, I'm curious in Georgia Tech, Florida State. So
It's 11 a.m.
It's going to get some attention from me.
Sure.
Something going on Saturday. So yeah, sure,
Yeah.
whatever. Past that, no. Did you see where Delaware State missed their flight already? So they've struggled to get to Honolulu. They had an extra travel day built in, but
I did.
Better take the Warriors with whatever the points are against the Hornets. Delaware State, the Hornets.
If you say so.
Delaware is the Blue Hens.
Yes.
But I think Delaware State's the Hornets. Delaware State. Yeah, Hornets.
How about that?
There you go. That game is kicking off at 11 o'clock Central on Saturday night. So you can stay up for that one. Hawaii, Delaware State. 11 o'clock.
No. I was asleep before 9 last night.
Well, you said you were 2 nights ago, too.
I know. What the hell's wrong with me? My sleep score loves me.
I got a 95 2 nights ago. It's
really?
hard to do. Yeah, I don't ever get 95 because I don't sleep enough hours.
Yeah.
I think it was like 7 hours and 42 minutes. It gave me a 95.
I got a 91 the other day for a similar number.
Oh, that's good. It's fine. Typically, it hates me, but yeah, that was okay. But no, I turned on Cowboys Raiders preseason for 15 minutes last night just because I didn't have anything else on. It's like whatever, I'll flip it on and watch. I watched Aiden O'Connell do a couple drives. And
was that a live game?
Yeah. Well, I assumed. I don't know.
Tuesday night?
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
It
was on, and I just clicked it, and I mean, I had not seen it before, so for me, it was live. I wasn't betting on it, so it was okay.
Yeah.
I think he threw a pick six at one point. I think the Raiders scored like 6 points or had 6 points deep into the game. Brian and I discussed Gardner Minshew getting another starting quarterback opportunity there.
Turns out that was a recruiting mistake by some people.
I told Brian he's had a really, really solid NFL career to date. He's 59 touchdowns, 24 picks in the NFL to date for his career.
Going to Brandon and interviewing him at a restaurant when he was a high school kid.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
nobody was recruiting him. That was
he had like an offer from Troy or something, right? And that was it.
Houston didn't think he could play. Missed that one.
Speaking of Brian, he has a podcast up from last night. He caught back up with Jake Sarachek, who did the documentary on the Ole Miss LSU weekend in Oxford last year. He has since arrived in Oxford for a season-long documentary on the Rebels football season this year. So,
is he getting like behind-the-scenes stuff, or
he has talked to a ton of people. That's all. I have not listened to the podcast to know exactly what's going on.
Someone was following Michael Katz around yesterday, who covers Ole Miss for the Daily Journal.
Okay.
Like a day in his life, or
maybe
whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, no clue. This cat's wildly uncomfortable with that.
I don't think he was particularly comfortable with the whole thing. Yeah,
just curious.
And people were harassing him about it. I was not one. Good for you.
You didn't harass him?
No, I'm so completely out of touch on things like documentaries and the season and all that stuff that I don't really know what's been done or not done.
Did you see that Pete Carroll said he's teaching a class at USC in the spring?
Oh, good for him.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it is?
Probably something about leadership.
What was it Leach taught? Was it Was it leadership or was like art of war or something? Was it like something completely?
It was something like Art of War, but I think it was more leadership related.
If I was a grad student at SC, I'd be all in on Pete Carroll talking to me for
100%.
an hour a day.
Pete Carroll was remarkably successful as a human being. Why would you not want to listen to him?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would listen to Pete Carroll, Nick Saban, people like that for hours.
He said, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a really exciting endeavor when it's finalized. So he couldn't talk about it yet. But
Yeah.
then says he's doing some advising for some, quote, other clubs.
Sure.
Just kind of hanging out.
Well,
Good,
I mean, look,
good to be Pete.
If you're a young NFL coach and you have an opportunity to have his ear for a few minutes, don't you want to? Win big. In Seattle, win big at USC. Players loved him. I mean, he was able to build culture at both of those places that lasted a long time. I would be fascinated to talk to Pete Carroll.
I'm excited about it because there's more stuff to teach, the more stuff to share. Everybody wants to know what I'm doing and all that. Am I coaching or what am I doing? I'm working with some really fun people and some exciting opportunities to do some cool stuff and putting things together for others. So I'm going to keep working that way and see what happens. He was asking if he has talked to his successor, Mike McDonald. He said, I haven't talked to those guys at all. I ran into Mike in the parking lot one day. It was a great chance to just the two of us alone to meet, say hey, and kind of get greeted, and on we go. I've not had much to do with them in any way, and really I'm just watching the games a little bit when I see them on TV. I'm not paying that much attention to it because it just feels like the right thing to do to let them go. I don't really have any opinion other than they're really hardworking and really smart group of guys, blah, 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 blah. It's a good answer.
Yeah, no problem with that.
I mean, it's not his team.
It's not his team anymore.
Yeah. And McDonald's not going to call Pete and run every decision by him. So
I would hope not. It's your team. It's not his team.
I mean, look, even Bama lets the new guy redecorate. So I mean, it's all.
I'm gonna give Alabama a lot of credit here. They've given Kalen DeBoer carte blanche.
They have.
He's done.
Nick is still occupying an office.
Yeah,
there.
I don't think he's there much.
Okay.
At all. They're going to honor him as they should. Jeez. I mean, my God.
Whatever he wants. It's cool.
You know, I mean, they're going to do at the opener, I think they're doing a big Nick Saban thing as they should.
Are they?
Yeah. And if I'm Kalen DeBoer, I'm like, yeah, you should absolutely honor him. Because if I do something similar to that, I want to be honored.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
Sure. But I don't think he's interfering on the day-to-day at all.
I think it's going to be weird for Nick. First Saturday.
Yeah. But I think he is the type that will jump into the game day thing and be
excellent,
phenomenal, and probably pour himself into that where he's not thinking about Alabama football.
And he'll have a moment where he goes, I'm not going to lose today. Not a chance in hell.
What will be interesting with Saban, because this will be the 1 year that it will happen, right? Pick your opening. Pick your Power 4 opening. You at least call Jimmy and ask.
You do.
You have to. Is there any chance Coach Saban would be interested in getting back? We would pay him whatever he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance? And so for 1 year, he's got to go, no.
I'm out. That's true.
And he's probably at an age where that will be easier said than
easier done than said.
Easier done than said.
Yeah.
Yeah, to go, yeah, you know what?
You got to tell yourself one time, but after that, okay.
I kind of like this.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I suspect that he does. He likes the golf, and he goes and speaks. And again, cool. I mean, every corporation in America is going to pay him to come speak to their people because the guy just wins.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know that, but does he miss it? I don't know. I mean, some guys, I remember talking about this with Andy Kennedy, Andy was younger and money was a factor, but Andy was on his way to being a dominant broadcaster. And he just missed it. He missed being part of a team.
Mm-hmm.
He missed practice.
They're wired that way.
He missed practice. He missed the thrill of games. And I think he even kind of missed recruiting as much as he didn't think he would miss it.
Mm-hmm.
So what does Saban do? Does Saban miss winning? Because he won a lot. I mean, does he just miss the thrill of winning to the point where South Carolina goes, just asking?
Yeah. I get it. We got Spurrier to do one last hurrah. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Florida.
Mm-hmm. So, All right, more tomorrow. We'll talk to Jeffrey tomorrow morning. We'll hit some of these topics that we didn't quite get to today, and plenty more because there's always something coming as college football for the season just a few days away. Again, 11 o'clock on Saturday morning with those ACC games, and then Ole Miss 10 days away against Furman in Oxford. So rebelgrove.com, MPW Digital, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.